The Reaching Decisions and Completing Tasks frameworks help students understand how to effectively participate in groups while making decisions. The framework identifies behaviors that help and hinder the decision-making process. The process is broken into 6 stages. We have preparation, orientation, exploration, decision, action, and evaluation. In this video, we're going to demonstrate some of these behaviors. Watch closely to see if you can identify some. Let's get started. Mary volunteers at a charity organization that works with girls and young women to help strengthen their self-confidence and educational goals. The organization is looking for a representative to increase awareness of its mission. Mary is part of a selection committee that has to decide which of 3 candidates to choose as the representative. Mary is preparing for the selection committee's meeting next week to understand what the group needs to accomplish. Preparation is the first of the 6 stages.
The representative we choose for the organization has to visit schools and attend events for girls and young women to tell them about our organization. She needs to do interviews with the local news media and let the public know how they can help support the group through volunteer work and donations. There is a lot of information here about the 3 candidates we have to consider. We need a plan to organize this material. Our first step needs to be determining what qualifications and skills are most important and list each candidate's strengths in those areas. I'm going to email the other members of the selection committee and ask them to develop their criteria for our meeting next week. I'll ask them to send me their information so I can organize the material into one document, which will help us stay focused on their criteria.
The next stage is orientation. It focuses on defining the final decision that needs to be reached and figuring out how to reach it. Today, Mary, Renee, Julie, and Sasha, members of the selection committee, meet for the first time to choose a candidate.
So, now that we're all here, before we get started, why don't we introduce ourselves and say how long we've been volunteering for this organization? Would you like to start?
Hi, I'm Renee and I started volunteering last year.
I'll go next. I'm Julie and I started volunteering about 5 years ago because I just really loved the mission to help boost girls' confidence. I also went to Alverno way back when, and the ability-based curriculum really helped me to grow as a woman in the workplace.
And I think great to meet you, Julie. I'm Sasha and I started volunteering 2 years ago. I don't have a lot of time today, so I hope we can get this over with quickly.
Oh, I'm Mary, and I've been volunteering for 10 years. I'm so excited to work with you on this election process. I really think that the representative we choose will be great for our organization to become visible in this community.
Now, the group is ready to start the exploration stage. This is when they share information they gathered from the preparation stage. The group's goal is to provide enough information so that the group can make a final decision.
Julie and Renee, thank you so much for sending me your thoughts on the candidates. I've compiled a document with all the criteria.
I didn't read your email until this morning because I was traveling last week. I glanced at the information and I think Ariel would be the best candidate.
Well, why do you think she'd be the best candidate?
She seems like a nice girl, and she has done a lot of volunteer work.
I don't think that's the best way to choose our candidate. So we only have a few minutes to make our selections. How do you think we should use our time wisely?
So we need to focus on the criteria. It looks like we agreed that our chosen rep has to be able to articulate our mission and devote time to doing so. So our three are Ramona, Nicole, and Ariel. And why don't we start by looking at Ramona?
Ramona seems to have the most time and experience with our organization. So based on that, she clearly stands out as the most desirable candidate.
I like Ramona too, but Nicole can better articulate our mission. True, she hasn't been here as long as Ramona, but she started here as a very quiet, shy person, and she's grown into this amazing, confident, very outgoing person.
I guess Nicole worked on a lot, but Ramona worked on a political campaign.
What does working on a political campaign have to do with being able to articulate the mission? We don't even know what she did for the campaign.
That's true.
So Ramona's story isn't as appealing as Nicole's success story. But Julie, why do you think Ramona wouldn't be able to articulate our mission as well as Nicole?
Well, a reference letter from another volunteer says that at events she's very sociable, very energetic. So I think that her enthusiasm, as well as her personality, would make her very good and very effective at sharing when it comes to social media and the public.
Julie, that's a good point. So now let's talk about Ariel. Is there anything about her that sets her apart from others based on the criteria?
Ariel volunteers at a Boys and Girls Club, which means she'd be good at interacting with girls and young women. And as I said, she seems like a nice girl.
Interacting with young women isn't one of the criteria we're using. Also, Ariel's involved with several groups, which means she might not have enough time to dedicate to the organization. Having enough time to dedicate to the organization is one of the criteria.
Well, interacting with young women is one of the criteria I would have chosen.
Have we covered all the candidates?
At the decision stage, the group agrees that it's time to reach a final decision. At this stage, no additional information should be discussed.
So we only have a few minutes left, and we want to be conscious of everyone's time. So, are we ready to make a decision? Yeah. All right. So, Renee, which candidate do you believe is the best?
I think Nicole is best choice. I think she will be able to articulate our mission because she is a true representation of our organization.
I vote for Nicole as well.
How about you, Sasha?
I also choose Nicole. I know I said Ariel would be a good candidate because she seems like a nice girl, but I don't know how nice Ariel really is.
I still think Ramona is best qualified. However, since you all agree that Nicole meets the criteria, I will also choose Nicole.
Okay, so Nicole is our choice.
They've made a decision, but there are 2 more stages. In the action stage, they need to decide how to implement their decision. The evaluation stage is a group assessment of how they work together to make a decision.
So the board wants to know our decision by Monday. So how should we present our selection to the board?
I think we should submit a written report that addresses each of the criteria and explains why Nicole is the best choice. I'm willing to write the report.
Thank you, Sasha. That's a great idea. So, despite a rough start, I think we worked really well together to come to a thoughtful decision.
I agree. Mary, your plan to organize the information before the meeting really helped us focus on the criteria. We all prepared well, which gave us a lot of information and opinions to contribute to the discussion. I'm really happy we came to this unanimous decision on who to vote for a candidate.